Hey guys, happy Monday. I hope you had an awesome weekend and are ready to get started with week 3 of distance learning. Hopefully, this made you laugh a little bit when you think you've been working for 4 hours and it's only been 17 minutes. That definitely resonates with me sometimes during distance learning. Sometimes I feel like I'm in a really good groove and time is flying by. Other times it feels like I've been working all day and I look at the clock and it's only 10 o'clock in the morning. So hopefully that made you laugh. Make sure you are comfortable, you have your materials. Hopefully by now you found a really good working space for you. I actually move my working space around. Sometimes I sit on the floor, like right now, just to sit on a hard surface. Sometimes I sit at the kitchen table. Sometimes I sit on the couch if I'm just reading through emails. So make sure you're in your good space, and we're going to start with a mental math warm-up. And on Friday, you started introduction into distance, rate, and time. So we're going to continue on with that today and tomorrow. All right, but let's get rolling with a mental math warm-up first. Okay. Remember, it's a video, so you can pause it and rewind it if you need more time or if you feel like you missed a step. You're going to start with 45. First step, divide by 5. Multiply by 2, subtract 12, and add 10. You should have ended with 16. And let's do one more. Start with 5, increase by 110, divide by 5, multiply by 7, lastly, subtract by 34. And you should have ended up with 127. Feel free to use those mental math warm-ups with your parents at the dinner table, with an older or younger sibling. See if they can give them a shot too. All right, distance, rate, and time. So as you learned on Friday, and as we'll continue to explore, they are all related. Remember, distance is the time, or the distance, the amount that we're traveling. So that could be 120 miles, it could be 3 feet, but it is a form of measurement. Rate is how fast we're covering that distance. So another way to think of rate is using the synonym speed. And then time is how long it takes. So time can be measured by seconds, by milliseconds, by hours, by days, by weeks, by light years. Time can be a form of measurement in many, many different ways. Let's go ahead and do a practice problem together. Make sure you have your math notebook or some type of writing utensil nearby. Whenever I sit down to do a distance, rate, and time problem, the first thing I do is write down the formula. So distance equals rate times time. And you'll see that I did the dot. You could use a multiplication sign. You could also just put the R and T next to each other because we know that means multiplication. And now we're going to plug in what we know. So do we know the distance? Do we know what the variable D is equal to? Yes, it says if the distance traveled is 12 miles. So I know the distance D is 12. So underneath my formula, underneath D, I'm going to put 12 because 12 is what I know. Let's see what else we know. The time it took was 2 hours. What is the rate? So I know time, T, is 2 hours. So I put my times 2. Now I'm trying to find the rate. The rate is my unknown. So that's going to stay a variable. I'm going to keep that R. Now I have 12 equals R times 2. Now this one-step equation I can do using mental math. I can ask myself what times 2 equals 12. So I would know that my rate is 6. And now I would write that they're traveling 6 miles per hour. So that's my rate, 6 miles per hour. When the problems get a little more complex, which they will, you know how to solve a one-step equation. So I'm going to model it just with this simple problem as a reminder. I want to isolate my variable. My variable is r times 2. The inverse, or the opposite operation of multiplication, is division. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2. Remember, my equal sign is just like a balance. Whatever I do to one side, I need to do to the other. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. I'm going to essentially cancel that out and be left with r on one side. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So my rate equals 6. So some of these you will be able to solve using mental math, but make sure you remember also how to solve a one-step equation. All right, let's try one more together before I send you off on your practice. All right, again, I am going to write my formula. D equals R times T at the top, so I'm ready to go. Then I'm going to plug in what I know. I know the distance is 120. I know the rate is 3. And I'm trying to find the time. So write down what you think this equation would look like. And I'm going to hold up my board and let's see if they match. Awesome. All right, go ahead and solve, and I'll solve too, and then we'll compare answers. And the time is being measured in seconds. Make sure you label it too. All right, here's what my one-step equation looked like, and you'll see that I even added the seconds at the end, just to show that I really understand what time is measuring in this case. Awesome. You guys got this. It's combining what you know, isolating variables, solving one-step equations, rate. We've been talking about rate and unit rate and ratios and proportions. So this is just another piece to the awesome math puzzle. Okay, it is Monday, so you will have a power problem today. You will have an assignment on distance, rate, and time. And remember, we're going to continue with our small group meetings into week 3. So if you met me last Monday, you're going to continue that today. I think that was Joey, Elliot, Thomas, and Lucas. So we're going to meet at 11 o'clock in Google Meet, and you're going to use the code Math5Phillips. We're going to do some review problems. Make sure you're coming to the Google Meets with questions. So if there's something you're wondering about, whether it's a math topic or an assignment expectation, come to those Google Meets prepared with any questions you have. And then my other math friends, I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday during our Google Meet at 11 o'clock. Have an awesome, awesome Monday, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.